Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So friends, we will continue our discussion on understanding planets' placement in different houses. Like after having our discussion on Jupiter's placement in all the houses, now in this video we will try to understand Sun. And friends, it's going to be a very spiritual discussion, like because Sun is connected and aligned with our soul, right? The Atma Karak, the universal soul significator planet for everyone, not only categorized or differentiated based on the highest degree in the chart. So that means when we talk about in which specific area of the life the inner illumination will happen, the highest spiritual potential, and what you shall be doing as per the right dharma prescribed for you, where your soul will feel uplifted, illuminated. So that is what is going to be the somehow the intent of this discussion. So we will first start with just the basic overview, like the Purusharth, different koshas of our existence, of our body, and Sun's contribution over there. Then we will try to understand Sun's placement in all the houses, and at the end we will also try to briefly look at the Pitra Dosha as well, because if Sun is also connected with our soul, our ancestors, our family lineage, so generally Pitra Dosha happens because of the involvement of the Sun. A lot of the times I hear people talking about that Pitra Dosha is there because Sun and Rahu are conjunct. It will never happen. For the actual Pitra Dosha to happen, luminaries, Sun and Moon have to be a part of that. And what exactly is the Pitra Dosha? Is it like a correction? Is it like a punishment? So all of that we will try to understand in this video. So okay friends, after this we will shift to the narration part of this discussion of Sun's placement in all the houses. So friends, although we will try to look at all the attributes of Sun in astrology in your life, like this could be the general signification, this could be customized to Sun's placement in all the houses as well. But just because my channel is like very old and couple of times I have talked about that, the general material signification. So in this discussion we will be primarily focusing on the soul authority, about your dharma and the fire of the consciousness. So friends, to start with, let's try to first understand Surya, Sun as the Aditya, not just a planet but cosmic intelligence. A lot of the things which we inherit in this lifetime as a part of the talents, as a part of the distinctive lifestyle, all of that happens because of the combination between the luminaries in our chart, like Surya and the Chandra, Sun and the Moon. A lot of the times I see when people talk about, astrologers talk about the Pitra Dosha, they talk about like Saturn Rahu conjunction or Saturn Ketu conjunction. No, if there is something called as the Pitra Dosha, which we will talk about in this discussion, luminaries has to be a part of that. So unless and until Sun or Moon, like the Jivatma or like your Manas, your Buddhi, your Chit, if that is not a part of that, you cannot call that as the Pitra Dosha. So we'll talk about all attributes of it. So friends, to begin with, Sun as the Aditya, not just a planet but cosmic intelligence. In the Jyotish, Sun is not merely a Graha. He is the Aditya, the visible form of the Brahman operating through time. The classical foundation around Sun is Bhrat Parashar Hora Shastra places the Sun as the Atma Karaka when it is of the highest degree, but in general, Surya is the general soul significator for all of us, irrespective of its degree. It is the source of the Tejas, the spiritual fire. Surya Siddhanta treats the Sun as the excess of cosmic order. Without Surya, no Graha can act. Without Atma, without the soul, no karma can fructify. So Sun as the Atma or the soul in the horoscope. Now comes the question, why Sun only is the soul? So Moon, we know that Moon represents our mind, our manas. Mercury represents intellect, buddhi. It's the sun which witnessed the consciousness. So because of which it is the significator of the Atma. Sun shows who you are when stripped of all the rules. Your inner authority, your capacity to stand alone in truth. And if sun is weak in your chart, there might be identity crisis, external validation addiction, and authority issues. Like this could be issues with the father, with the boss, state, or with the god. Like people who generally become atheist, you will see somehow the involvement of the sun over there as well. And if sun is going to be strong, so natural leadership, self-respect, alignment with the dharma, even in solitude. Now friends, in which capacity sun governs the purusharth, like sun governs the life purpose. So we know that sun is primarily connected with the dharma. From the Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 and 18, the summary mentioned over there in those shlokas is, it is better to follow one's own dharma imperfectly than another's dharma perfectly. So in the Jyotish terms, the house where sun is placed talks about where your dharma must express. The zodiac sign of the sun talks about how your dharma expresses itself, and sun's dignity tells about how confidently you live it. When sun is ignored, success feels hollow, career lacks meaning, and the spiritual bypassing occurs. Friends, obviously, like when we are decoding the chart, especially sun, from the point of view of the East Devata, right? Because whenever we have to even decode the East Devata in the chart, somehow we give attention to the fifth house, right? Your interest in the mantras, in the scriptures. So in the original Kalpurush Kundli, fifth house belongs to Leo. Leo is being ruled by sun, so sun always have a say over there. So in the advanced Jyotish, this could be Gemini, this could be Prashar, sun is connected to the East Devata, especially when sun is the Atma Karak, like planet with the highest degree. Sun influences the Karakamsha chart. Sun dominates the D20 chart, the Vimsamsa chart. And the sun-based East expression, we know that like Lord Ram is connected with the sun. So there might be the righteous kingship or the Maryada. You will see that people who are like very devoted to Lord Ram, you will see that ethics, rules, regulation plays a very integral role in their life. If the Surya Narayan, if the Narayan, Lord Vishnu, so being very driven towards the order and structure. Lord Shiva as Dakshina Murti, if Surya's energy is expressing itself through Lord Shiva, Dakshina Murti as your East Devata, you will see that potential of inner illumination. And if it is going to be the Gayatri, like people, like, you know friends, in this world of access to many mantras, you will come across like, you know, those people, those saints who have gained mastery over the Gayatri mantra. There couldn't be anything much more powerful than that. So the Gayatri, we say that, you know, and if you succeed in doing that, so it is considered as the awakening of intelligence. So when sun awakens spiritually, ego dissolves into authority. Surya and the Pitra Karma. So friends, we will have a elaborative section on this, but briefly, see, it's critical and misunderstood as well when we talk about the Pitra Karma and the ancestral debts, because it's the sun which represents our father, your lineage, your pitris, your ancestors, your family honor, and unfinished ancestral dharma. If a sun is afflicted, it may indicate in a form of Pitra Dosha, and again I always say it's not always through ninth house. This could be the broken lineage pride, father-child karmic tension, carrying an ancestor's unfulfilled role. And see, the classical remedies which talk about how to fix this, so they give emphasis to the tarpan, ancestral offering, service to the father, fatherly figures, upholding the family dharma, and the Surya Arga, like, you know, water offering to the Surya, the rising sun. So Pitra Karma resolves when sun becomes dignified in the life choices. Friends, when we talk about Surya and the chakras, the yogic correlation, right? So somehow the solar plexus, Manipura chakra, Mars, Sun, all that heated planets are connected with this chakra as well. So Manipura governs the willpower, digestion of the experiences, self confidence, fire of the transformation. If Sun is weak, like you will see that there might be fear of authority, indigestion related issue. This could be physical, emotional, too much of the people pleasing. And when Sun is strong, you will see inner stability, courage, decisive clarity. So the spiritual insight is like, awakening the Manipura without humility leads to the ego inflation, and Sun requires discipline and surrender. Friends, I always give attention to the five koshas as well, right? The Annamay kosha, the physical, Pranamay kosha, life force, Manomay kosha, Vigyanmay kosha, Anandmay kosha. So mapping Sun across all these five koshas. So if it is influencing the Annamay kosha as per the house placement, zodiac sign placement, dignity, so it impacts the heart, eyes, general vitality. If it is influencing the Pranamay kosha, its energies, so it influences the life force, immunity, the heat in the body. If it is influencing the Manomay kosha, so that sense of I. If it is influencing the Vigyanmay kosha, so that discrimination, leadership wisdom. And if it is influencing the Anandmay kosha, the bliss body, then we say that bliss through the alignment with truth. So a spiritually evolved Sun shift dominance from the Manomay to the Vigyanmay. Friends, if you have to even pursue Sun in the divisional chart, so even if you are a beginner, I would say that the specific charts where you have to give attention to the Sun. So D1 chart, beyond any doubt, because the real events we always see from the D1. That means your real identity, your real life, experiences with the authority, your relationship with the father, visibility in the career. So D1 chart, Surya, Sun in the D1. When you open D9 chart, Navamsa, and try to see Sun and judge Sun over there, it will give information regarding the maturity of ego, Dharma after the life lessons. And if Sun is weak in D9, arrogance breaks someone later on in the life. D10 chart is very important, giving attention to the Sun, Saturn in this chart. So it will talk about the leadership style, relationship with the power structure. D20 chart, friends, Vimsamsa. So the tapas potential, austerity potential, ability to surrender ego to the divine will. And friends, when we talk about, like for example, many times people talk about the common trap of Sun and the ego. So we all have heard that story where planet Saturn was humiliated in the court of a king, and then how Shani Devata made that king repent. So I mean to say, sometimes when too much power comes, visibility comes, people get swayed away by the ego as well, right? So you have to understand that strong Sun is not always big ego. It is the afflicted Sun which gives inflated or collapsed ego. And the true Sun strength it never needs validation. It can bow without using authority, can lead without dominating. So, the Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, which talks about one who has conquered the self is the greatest ally of the self. Friends, the general remedies, like before we will shift to the all house placement. So the general remedy for the Sun, like the way it has been advised in majority of the paramparas and the classics, is that first of all, wake up with the rising Sun. Offer water to the rising Sun. Gayatri mantra, one of the most powerful mantra. So japa of the Gayatri mantra, it will bring that light. It will take you out from the darkness. So service to the father, mentors, living truthfully under pressure. See, righteousness and truthfulness matters a lot. Maryada, like rules, regulation matters a lot. And the inappropriate Sun remedies, I would say that, when you are just wearing a gemstone for the egoic ambition, or power rituals without any humility, or seeking fame without any responsibility. So sun matures through responsibility, not through reward. So friends, I always say like sun is not about success. Sun is about standing in truth even if success is delayed. And when the sun is honored, soul aligns with dharma. Ancestors find peace. Leadership becomes service, and ego becomes illumination. So, friends, on this note, let's try to map sun's placement in all the houses in the same lines, like your soul identity, the karmic lesson, spiritual risk, higher expression, how we can correlate with which shlokas and wisdom of Bhagavad Gita we can connect sun's placement in your chart, right? So this is not going to be a predictive kind of explanation. It is going to be a soul mapping kind of framework showing how the Atma, like your soul, sun, is meant to function in the material world. So the key principle from the Prashar and the Bhagavad Gita is the sun does not show what you want. It shows what you must become to fulfill your dharma. Okay, so let's start first with placing sun in the first house. This talks about the embodied soul, your Atma as the identity. The soul mandate is going to be to stand alone in the truth, to live visibly, courageously, and authentically. Again, friends, so I'm not giving you kind of a prophecy, prediction, or I'm not doing a personality analysis. This is how it is. You can work around with planets which are flexible, but sun is your true illumination. So that means this mandate is something which you need to follow. So that means, so even if life puts you in a situation where you can cut corners just by siding with the injustice, so you're not supposed to do that, because then you are lying to your soul. So that for the true illumination, you have to stand alone in truth. And I'm sure, when now people will ask, who decide what is truth? We are living in a day and age of propaganda, extreme opinions. So again, whatever comes deep from within, whatever resonates from you, with you, that's what is your customized truth, not what is dictated by the society. So to stand alone in the truth, to live visibly, courageously, authentically, it's like, see, sun's placement can be judged based on the birth time only. We know that the afternoon birth will somehow puts your sun in the 10th house, in the 9th house. The sunrise birth will put your sun in the first house and all. So that's what you have to understand. It's like with the Rashmi, with the Kiran, with the time of the sun's placement is being governed. And generally it has been seen, if sun is placed in the early half of the chart, sometimes success comes early in the life. So yes, friends, the karmic lesson for you is ego must mature into the self-respect. Life tests your identity early. The spiritual risk for you could be arrogance, obviously, if sun is afflicted. I have also seen a lot of the people who have sun in the first house, their hairline start receding, especially in the case of the males. It's some part of the research because it's a very heated energy, right? So you might get a hair transplant done later on if you have money and all, but generally it's such a heated energy in your first house. A lot of the people who start having a receding hairline, that generally happens. So the spiritual risk for you is arrogance if sun is afflicted, identity collapse if sun is weak. The higher expression of this placement is becoming a beacon, like people orient themselves around you. You are if the society or the industry where you are working, if that is the solar system, everything shall revolve, rotate around you. So you need to have that allure, that light, that wisdom, that kind of potential to guide, shower the wisdom, show the path through leadership. So that means, so that everyone then orient themselves around you, feel secure, feel comfortable around you. And the Gita, Bhagavad Gita says lift yourself by the self. Now friends, let's place sun in the second house. this can be seen as a placement of the guardian of the lineage. Atma, soul as values and ancestral voice. The soul mandate with this placement is protect the family dharma. Now, again, friends, see, that is what you have to understand. In the day and age of propaganda, biasness, opinions, and all, whatever is governing norm in your family, whatever has been dictated in your family, that is what your truth is, that is what your dharma is, and this is what you have to protect. Preserve your lineage, your speech, and try to always speak the truth. The Pitra karma, friends, so the Pitra karma is very, very strong here. So because ancestral blessings or the ancestral burdens generally comes from this placement. Speech carries karmic weight. For example, you gave a false testimony in a legal case against someone. Now that will haunt you. Or you lied. I'm sure that you would have heard that context. Like even in the Mahabharata, in one situation, in order to tame and tackle Dronacharya, even Yudhishthir, like in a way, lied that Ashwathama hate hate, like it's like where the Bhim, he killed the elephant, but no one would have expected to, like Dhritarashtra, who was seen as the epitome of the truthfulness, to lie just to win a war. So I mean to say, and the repercussion of that happened, the consequence of that came. So I mean to say, your speech carries a karmic weight. And let's say, for example, if you have not even sun, you have sun and Ketu conjunction in the second house, then it becomes very, very important. Even if you are an astrologer, that is what we say, the job of an astrologer is not always very easy. Sometimes being an astrologer with less knowledge is fine, because now you are not that awakened, illuminated. Otherwise, even if a chart comes to you, parents who are very happy, they have got a child, they want to know about the future, and if you are seeing less age, like premature kind of life, you have to say the truth, because this is what your dharma is. No matter how many people you will offend, but you have to speak the truth. This is what sun demands out of you. The spiritual risk, pride in the wealth or the family name, speech used to dominate, potential of that. The higher expression of this placement is speaking the truth that sustains the generations. And the Pitra principle is wealth is sacred only when it preserves the values. And that is the case, friends. Like even if you will see some of the big industrialists from India, like this could be the Tata group, this could be the Birla group, like in some part of the India, some part of the world, there is some construction, some form of maintenance of some temple happening in the name of the Birla group. So that means, yes, you are wealthy, but not at the cost of compromising on your values. So values matters a lot. Now friends, let's place the sun in the third house. So sun in the third house, this is the warrior of will, your soul, your atma as courage and effort. So the soul mandate, friends, is build your destiny through personal effort. Overcome fear through action. The karmic theme with this placement is rewriting the courage karma. Sibling karma often involved with this placement. A lot of the times I have seen that where the demise of the father happened early and the whole responsibility of the younger sibling came on the shoulder of this person. He only was responsible for the settlement of his younger sibling. This person looked after his sibling like a father. So all of that I've seen, like that kind of sibling karma. The spiritual risk could be of the aggression. The spiritual risk could be of the constantly trying to prove yourself. The higher expression, friends, with this placement is fearless self-effort without insecurity. And the Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is action is superior to inaction. Now let's place sun in the fourth house. This is the inner king, your soul as emotional authority. The soul mandate is rule the inner kingdom, heal the emotional foundations. The karmic theme with this placement generally comes in a form of the mother karma, right? Like this could be where mother might be very dominant figure in the family. The whole responsibility might have come onto the shoulder of the mother right from the early age. It also talks about the inner security versus the outer success conflict as well. See, you have to understand, wherever sun is, visibility is there, illumination is there, and fourth house, eighth house, 12th house are not always visible on the surface. So you might also have to deal with this risk as well, that you have too much of the talent and potential, but somehow it never comes on the surface. Other people are not able to see it. So yes, that all are your nemesis situations you have to deal with. So the spiritual risk could be of emotional domination, control within the family. The higher expression could be of inner peace that does not depend on approval. The Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is of one who is satisfied within. Now friends, comes a very strong placement of the sun. If the sun is going to be placed in the fifth house, the flame of intelligence, Atma as Buddhi, your intellect and creativity. The soul mandate is lead through wisdom, teach, guide and inspire. Friends, I couldn't emphasize anymore. If you have sun in the fifth house and you take that vow, even this day onwards, when you are listening to this, that in my this lifetime, I will do the Gayatri mantra in this many count. I am telling you, it hardly matters which planet is your Atma Karak, which planet is your ninth lord, what is your moon nakshatra, what dasha you are going through, your life will change right away. This will be a new phase, a new birth for you. Gayatri mantra is very powerful and sun plays a very significant role over there. If you have sun in the fifth house, take that vow of the japa of the Gayatri in this much count. It is very powerful. The karmic theme for you friends is obviously mere placement of sun in the fifth house tells about some good deeds done by you in the past life. We say that children and the disciple comes as a karma carriers. Whatever your relationship is with the children in this lifetime, you have sown that seeds in the past lifetime. It is a pure and clear and transparent testimony of this. Spiritual risk for the person, this could be of the intellectual ego, this could be of the spiritual pride. The higher expression is of intelligence that liberates others. And the Bhagavad Gita echo is, I am the intelligence of the intelligent. Like obviously here, like the Brahman and the Lord Krishna referring to that. Now friends, when we talk about placing sun in the sixth house, so this can be seen as the servant king. I'm sure if you would have heard that story of the Raja or the King Janak, when a devotee went to him, his teacher sent him to Janak to get some spiritual divine lessons or learning from him. He was surprised that why my teacher, my Gurudev has sent me to a king. What can I learn from a king? But when he actually gotten into the nitty-gritty of the life of the Raja Janak, that irrespective of being a king, he see himself as just a mere servant to the masses. He realized that you can also be doing the meditation and doing your bhakti even through service irrespective of being a king. So this placement talks about that. So Atma through service and struggle, your soul through service and struggle. See friends, the concern is that because sun in itself represents illumination, right? So if it is going to be sixth house, structure and discipline will be important. There will be those kind of nemesis which you have to deal with. Like if you follow, like for example, Premanand Maharaj ji, So he always talk about this, right? That like his health has been a concern, and he always talk about that whatever I'm experiencing right now in the form of the challenges of the health, this might be the karmas from the past, but the way I'm burning it through the repetitive name of the japa, name of the god, it is somehow helping me for evolution. So that is what we say. So sometimes we get overwhelmed when we come across people, irrespective of being very pure, being very spiritual, being very sattvic, they are still surrounded by all the difficulties and challenges in their life. So that is what your nemesis and your dharma in this lifetime is, to even shine, irrespective of all these challenges which life is throwing at you. So this is the typical sun in the sixth house. So even if some authority will be bestowed upon to you, it is going to be filled with challenges. Like for example, these days even in the political circles, it is being talked about, right? That Mark Carney, I live in Canada, Mark Carney, he actually got the prime ministership, or he took over the power when there is biggest existential kind of threat to Canada, what is happening right now. So yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So this could be, if you can connect it in the political sphere, in the ruling sphere, you could also connect it for your inner illumination as well, that it might not be easy. If sun in the fifth house, you might have a perfect health, perfect disciple, perfect ashram setting, and then you are meditating, doing the Gayatri Japa. Sun in the sixth house, you might be doing the same. You might have that inner illumination, those thoughts, but you might be coughing at the same time. You might be dealing with the work related challenges as well, and then you are doing your part. So the soul mandate is defeat inner enemies, serve without ego. The karmic theme is like, it talks about heavy karma, friends, and battles with authority, health, and enemies might have to be dealt with. Spiritual risk is, we say that feeling of like, martyrdom. I will completely sacrifice myself for a cause, or there might be power struggle as well with the authority. The higher expression is mastery through humility and discipline. And the Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is, he who is disciplined conquers the self. Now friends, when we talk about placing sun in the seventh house, the mirror of the self, Atma through relationship. So the soul mandate is that you have to learn the selfhood through partnership. See, this is what the beauty of the seventh house or the 11th house is, that whatever you want, you are now dependent on support from others. And even in the 11th house, it might happen within your circle of like-minded community, but somehow when the 7th house gets involved, sometimes you even end up being dependent on the mercy of others as well. So the soul mandate for you is learn the selfhood through partnership, balance your ego with cooperation. The karmic theme is marriage as soul testing ground, power dynamics in relationship. I guess even in the case of, I read it somewhere that even in the life of the saintly people like Prabhupada ji, even in the case of the Prabhupada ji, his devotion to the Krishna consciousness, but even in his married life, he had struggle. But he surmounted that, he emerged like a pure devotee amidst all the household challenges as well. So yes, marriage will act as a soul testing ground, power dynamics in the relationship. The spiritual risk might be of a dominating spouse, losing yourself in the partnership. The higher expression is going to be of equality without the loss of authority. And the Bhagavad Gita echo, the wisdom of Bhagavad Gita which echo with this placement is, see the self in all beings. Now friends, let's place the sun in the 8th house, the phoenix kind of soul. So it talks about the Atma or the soul through death and rebirth. The soul mandate is going to be of transform your identity, face fear, impermanence, and the truth. The karmic theme with this placement is going to be the sudden events or inheritance of the hidden karma. See now, friends, the beauty over here is that one thing is for sure that with this placement, you cannot be attention hungry or attention seeker person, because it might not happen like that with sun in the 4th house, 8th house, 12th house. And the concern with the 8th house is that you might have the biggest of the fame. People will they might even put a photograph of you and start worshipping you, but it might happen after when you die. So I mean to say, and the illumination will happen. See, the ground beneath the earth, right? So that means a lot is happening within. And this is much more valid in this placement, that you don't need a validation. You might have the knowledge of the rishi, of the saints, enlightened saints. It hardly matters whether other people are acknowledging it, other people are accepting it. They might do it, but after when you are gone. So I mean to say, 8th house has got a lot of the depth. It's like that iceberg. The depth of that is beneath. But the problem is not everyone can see that depth, right? So, and in certain cases where people talk about the epiphany, awakening, sudden realization, Nipun, I was a wealth seeker throughout my life. My dad dasha came, my 8th house got activated. I was looking at my family, I was looking at wealth, and it is no more tempting me. It is no more fascinating me. So all that happened because of the 8th house. It is your depth. So again, friends, the soul mandate for you is the transform identity. You have to face the fear, impermanence, and the truth. The thing is, because if sun is the true wisdom, true illumination, it might happen. You will experience that. You will witness that through all the 8th house element. Sometimes when people they start witnessing or seeing the death of their relative, death of people around them, they realize the impermanence nature of the life. So yeah, 8th house has got its own way. 8th house has got its own way. The concern is that 8th house sun is not as tormenting. Sun is not as tormenting as Saturn could be. Saturn in the 8th house gives that life wisdom, transcendental wisdom, but through some very excruciating experiences. Sun is not that harsh. It is a malefic planet, mild malefic, because of that heated energy attached to it, but not as tormenting as Saturn could be. So the karmic theme, friends, sudden events, inheritance of the hidden karma. The spiritual risk could be obsession with control, fear of loss. The higher expression is of fearless surrender to the transformation. And the Upanishadic echo with this placement is the self is never born, it never dies. Sun's placement in the 9th house, the Dharma bearer. So Atma as the moral authority. So the soul mandate with this placement, beyond any doubt, this is one of the best placement. So the way I mentioned, 5th house talks about the mantra, chanting, Ishtupasana. 2nd house talks about the family karma, lineage karma. 9th house is the actual house of the divinity, true wisdom. And generally, it's like if you get any mantra from a guru, you can transcend. So the soul mandate is uphold the dharma, teach, guide, bless. Karmic theme for you is of father, guru karma, past life, spiritual authority. In a way, like 5th house, 9th house, they are like the dharma triangle, right? Spiritual risk is of the moral superiority, rigid belief system. The higher expression with this placement is of living the dharma, not preaching it, living it. The Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is I establish dharma age after age. You would have heard that, whenever the adharma, the crime and the evil rises, the Lord incarnates. Let's place sun in the 10th house, the visible authority. You're born around the afternoon, right? So Atma as the world leader. The soul mandate is carry the responsibility publicly. Lead, structure, institutions and society. So again, if you ask me your dharma, so becoming a leader is not like your wishful thinking. Having some authority being bestowed upon to you is not like something that is what your goal is. This is what your dharma is, and how you follow, how you take care, what you become once you get that authority. That's what decides your fate. The karmic theme is of the karma yoga, friends. Obviously, your duties, your action is your rightful duty, your like dharma. Reputation as the soul test. The spiritual risk with this placement is career obsession, power addiction. The higher expression is of leadership as service. And the Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is of by action, man attains perfection. Now, friends, let's place Sun in the 11th house. So, this is the light for the collective. Your soul, your Atma as visionary. Like the soul mandate with this placement is to influence the groups, build future oriented system. The karmic theme is of the network karma, like the collective leadership. The spiritual risk with this placement is of like there might be fame addiction or validation seeking, because Sun is the most independent planet, right? If it is placed in the 5th house, it is placed in the 9th house, it is placed in the 1st house, you by yourself, your aura, your energy, your wisdom, your principles, they echo, they illuminate on their own. But again, when we place the planets in the 7th house, in the 11th house, then they are dependent on the external validation. The higher expression, friends, vision that uplift the society. The Bhagavad Gita echo with this placement is one who works for the welfare of all. Now, friends, let's place Sun in the 12th house, the dissolving self, like Atma, your soul towards the moksha, right? The soul mandate is dissolve ego, serve the unseen, and prepare for the liberation. See, the karmic theme with this placement is of the isolation, foreign lands, and the spiritual retreat. You know, when people talk about like people who find that resonance and that fulfillment, like on and off, we keep on seeing that in the Instagram reels. Even before starting to record this video, I was listening to this Instagram reel where this person, I was a cop, and then I had a girlfriend, then she left me, then somehow I moved to Asia, I embraced Buddhism, I am happy, I am fulfilled, I found my dharma. So something, if it is in the 12th house, not even in the 9th house, even in 9th house, foreign energy is there, but it not always take you away from the identity with which you are born. But if it is in the 12th house, it becomes very paramount, it becomes very strong. And again, friends, if it is like Sun and its involvement with the 12th house, you cannot be a attention seeker, because your illumination, your wisdom, your knowledge shine within. 4th house, 8th house, 12th house, Sun being in these houses, you could be a world renowned director, but not the actor who's facing the camera. So the soul mandate for you is of the dissolve ego, serve the unseen, prepare for the liberation. See, when I say prepare for the liberation, that means don't have too much possession or attachment. Like letting go has to be your principle. The karmic theme is again, friends, isolation, foreign land, spiritual retreat. And again, if Sun is in the 12th house, even if your moon nakshatra is something like for example Sadbisha, which create a boundaries and live in kind of isolation, if your moon is conjunct with Ketu, then it is a win-win situation. So the spiritual risk for you is of escapism, loss of the worldly grounding. The higher expression is of when ego dies, consciousness remains. And the Bhagavad Gita echo is abandon all dharmas and surrender on to me. Surrender is very important. So friends, I'm sure you would have understood, right, that the Sun's house shows where the soul must mature, not where life feels easy. Early struggle sometimes represents faster evolution. And I guess this is what the purpose of our life is, right? Every day, with each year, our cells are dying, we are maturing. But what matters most from a spiritual lens is how strongly you're evolving, the soul evolution, that your awareness, that's what matters. That's what we say, like, in the case of the saints and all. Sometimes some of the Shankaracharya and the saints, they did not live of a very long life, because their evolution, the purpose for which they have taken the birth, the evolution happened very fast. And with some people, why Saturn delays? Because maturity happens late. They keep on delaying the whole process. So yeah, early struggle is faster evolution. Late clarity sometimes is karmic ripening, and the ignored sun is simply repeated life lesson. Now friends, just because people keep on asking me about the Pitra Dosha, let's wrap it up in this small discussion only. I always say, whenever we talk about the Pitra Dosha, I will explain it to you. All the signs, telltale signs, characteristics of that. You cannot put sun and moon, the original luminaries, out of it. There is no such thing as Pitra Dosha if sun and moon are not involved. You cannot say Pitra Dosha because Saturn Rahu or Saturn Ketu are conjunct. If your soul is not entangled, entrapped, your manas, your buddhi, your moon is not entrapped, then this will not qualify for the Pitra Dosha, right? So okay, let's dive deeper into it. It's not a fear-based discussion, friends. It's about ancestral responsibility, soul correction, and the Dharma restoration. I always say, if an astrologer, like in an astrology session, you are being scared with some fearful analysis, then that's not the objective of astrology. Astrology is all about correction and guidance and remedy. That's it. There's nothing else which you can expect out of it. So the very first principle, friends, is like every weak or afflicted sun is not a Pitra Dosha, and every Pitra Dosha does not always destroy life. Be very clear about this. Pitra Dosha is a karmic obligation, not a curse. It activates only when the soul has accepted unfinished ancestral dharma. The lineage failed to complete a moral, social, or spiritual duty. So what Pitra Dosha actually means, the classical understanding is, in Parashar and later in the Nadi tradition, Pitris are the carrier of the dharma across generation. When dharma is broken or abandoned, the karma seeks continuation, not punishment. The descendant becomes the instrument of the repair. So Pitra Dosha means you are chosen to complete what was left incomplete. Now, how the sun becomes afflicted, the true affliction. Like for example, it can happen through functional affliction, most common. Like sun is weak by dignity, debilitated, combustion to cannot happen. It's the sun only which combusts other planets, but debilitation, weak by dignity, placed in the Dushtana Bhava, 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, aspected or conjunct with a malefics. So this cause identity struggle, authority conflict, father related issue. This alone again is not Pitra Dosha. The karmic affliction, the true Pitra Dosha indicators, like Pitra Dosha is strongly indicated when multiple conditions stack together, like sun is afflicted, 9th house or the 9th lord afflicted, and the Rahu Ketu are connected to sun or the 9th house axis. So this is very crucial. The classical Pitra Dosha combination, friends, like sun conjunct with Rahu or Ketu, indicates the broken lineage dharma. Ancestors failed in the ethical duty, family responsibility, or the spiritual obligation, and the result comes. It manifests in the form of repeated career blocks, disrespect from authority, name reputation issues. If sun is in the 8th house or 12th house and the 9th house afflicted, so hidden ancestral debts, sudden losses without a clear reason, fear of authority or of the god. Like, people who are like always remaining and living life in fear, irrespective of being rich, because the wealth has been amassed through corruption money. So they have the wealth, but still they are insecure. So it is often seen, like, in the families with unspoken trauma. Like a lot of the times we have this notion, oh, that person is rich, he has such a big house. Arey Baba, you don't know what he is in his private personal life is going through or dealing with. Ask astrologers like us, because when people book their reading, they share their whole life with us. So even if you have less right now, but you are healthy, you are happy, you don't have any fear. That is the biggest blessing. So, and yeah, so sun in the 8th or the 12th and ninth house also afflicted. So it result in families with unspoken trauma, sudden death, suicide, or exile histories in the family. Um, Sun is afflicted in Navamsa could be another kind of placement. Like this is very important because it shows the soul level ancestral karma. So marriage, legacy, lineage continuation gets tested, and it often leads to late marriage, disinterest in the family lineage, unconventional family structure. A Sun and Saturn, where Saturn does not have any dignity. Saturn without any dignity, right? So, lineage burden, heavy responsibility carried by native, feeling older than one's true age, but if dignified, great ancestral redemption yogas. So, and friends, sometimes people ask me, Nipun, in the real life, like how Pitra Dosha manifest, like in the form of the real life events, characteristics of that. So it's not superstition, friends, these are patterns. Again, these are patterns. So repeated failure despite effort, sudden fall after success, feeling unsupported by fate, father child emotional distance, name, reputation, or authority humiliation, children delaying or refusing lineage continuation, strong urge to break family patterns. So it's not like that all of them must be present, but in some capacity they are going to be there. And friends, like Pitra Dosha is not always bad karma, okay? Very, very big clarity over here. Pitra Dosha does not always means bad karma. Pitra Dosha souls are often spiritually advanced. All what they need is they are trusted with the lineage correction. They are strong enough to end cycles. Many saints, reformers, monks, and leaders had strong sun affliction. So, Pitra Dosha and Bhagavad Gita, the philosophical view on this, friends, like from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, it says, by performing prescribed duties, one upholds the cosmic order. Pitra Dosha exists when Dharma was abandoned. The soul now must restore balance through action. Like, running away from family, duty, or responsibility worsens the Pitra Karma. So now, friends, comes the remedies. So first we will talk about what does not work. Only blindly wearing gemstone does not work. One-time rituals without proper lifestyle changes does not work. Fear-based pujas, worship ritual does not work. And paid Pitra Dosha removal package does not always work. Now what works? The classical and the spiritual. We can say lifestyle or remedy. So dharma-based living, to begin with, live ethically under pressure, take responsibility others avoid, protect the family dignity through conduct. This is the most powerful remedy. A father who has 3 sons and none of them came, or just one came at the time when father was in his last early years of the life in bad health, and he took care of his ailing father. Now imagine who will get the best benefit. And the guy who did it, his children will also get benefit because of that. Number 2 is service to the father figure. Even if biological father karma is strained, respect the mentors, teachers, elders, institutions. Surya, sun heals through right authority alignment. Ancestral acknowledgement, not fear, like simple water offering like tarpan. Remember your ancestors with gratitude. Do not blame or resent your lineage. Surya sadhana, sunrise arghya, like offering water to the rising sun, Gayatri mantra, and standing in sunlight with awareness, especially in the early morning hours, not to gain power but to stand in truth. And when the Pitra Dosha gets resolved, friends, so the clear sign, sudden career stability comes now. Inner peace despite outer pressure. You are at peace. Sometimes, when I just started doing meditation, even if people around me are getting mad, rather than feeling resentful, I feel compassion for them. So that generally happens. So inner peace despite outer pressure. Father karma softens. Life stops repeating the same failures. Strong urge to guide others. Like resolution often happens after 36 or 42 years once dharma is embodied. And friends, the final truth, Pitra Dosha is again not a punishment, it is an inheritance of responsibility. When Surya, sun, is honored, lineage heals, ego matures into authority, karma stops repeating, the soul becomes a torch bearer, not a sufferer. So okay friends, I hope you found this video informational. I always say this thing, it's a research platform. We all learn from each other. So whatever is resonating with you, whatever is getting applicable in your case, based on sun's placement and the explanation given in this video, do share that in the comment section so that we all can learn and it will add to my research database as well. So friends, for further more updates and notification on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.